Alright, welcome back to another attempt at my Rattler only run. If you're curious what settings I'll have it on set to, I'm just running through it real quick just so you know what you're in for and what I'm in for. And what you might not be expecting is like a more or less a commentary video for me just talking about bullshit. Or just stuff that's on my mind. Which I might make that what this term, I might end up turning this into like a common thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna do a Rattler only run, but only when I got something to talk about or whatever. I don't know. It's just an idea for now. What's on my mind currently? Well, the whole idea of like quitting YouTube, because it's really like a popular thing that like people are doing nowadays, like the MatPats of the world and all that stuff. Also, if you're into that channel and whatever, you know who that is. Like the whole idea of just quitting something outright, to me, like putting like a stamp on it, I wouldn't want to do that personally. Like, you know, even going to the whole, you know, Hugh Jackman quitting being, you know, playing Wolverine after Logan and whatever. And I guess that's kind of different, but just the whole idea of like never doing something again, like ever, never ever, you know? I don't like doing that. But I guess there was a time where I considered like just stopping doing the whole YouTube thing. And what kind of, well, I never, not really truly considered it, but the thought did cross my mind. Because it wasn't really, like, nobody was really watching. Like, it was kind of a thing just for me for a while. And it still kind of is. It's still kind of, I don't really have an audience per se. I've had some pretty good momentum here lately. Like, people have been checking me out and whatever, and that's been cool. And the whole idea of, the reason why I kind of found out, oh no, move. I did realize, I think a couple years ago, that I still want to do this, you know, because if there ever was a time for me to quit, it would have been around that time, because literally there was a moment where my mic essentially exploded. Like, the mic that I started with was of no use to me anymore. It would not work correctly at all. And you might not know this about me, but I'm kind of a tightwad when it comes to money and stuff. What kind of made me kind of like look at myself a little bit differently, or look at this differently, was like how quickly I was to just like, oh, I get a new mic then. Like, I didn't even hesitate. There wasn't any hesitation of me. Like, I wanted to keep on doing this. In order for me to keep on doing this at the level that I do it, in my opinion, I needed a new mic. And there was no hesitation about me getting that new mic. So that kind of like, oh, you do still want to do this. You're just kind of having a rough go at it. Which is fine. It doesn't really bother me. Because maybe one day I'll wake up and I have 2,000 subs or something. I don't know. But right now I'm kind of just sitting pretty at 367. Which is fine. It's fine. I'm not upset about it or anything. Definitely not upset about it. Especially considering that, dude, I was stuck at like 69 for a long time. Wink. You know, it had to be 69, didn't it? It was like 69 for a while, then it went bumped up to 72. And that was kind of like the highest and lowest I got kind of stuck at. And then, I forget where my attitude changed about it, where I started to enjoy the whole making stuff thing more than I even realized I would. You know? Oh my god, I'm rambling. I had a subject in mind, but man, hey. Oh damn, didn't mean to do that.
Shit!
One hit kill. be a headshot. I think people kind of, even me, because here lately, like, momentum's been a real thing in my life. Like, I've got a lot of good stuff going for me right now. My attitude's been really good. Been working out more and knocking some stuff off the to-do list. Momentum has been pretty good for me in real life. And kind of in YouTube a little bit. Not as much. Like, I'll have like a couple videos been doing pretty good. Like, it's easy to fall into a trap of, oh, I got momentum going, I gotta keep the momentum going. And then when you don't keep the momentum going, you're kind of like, oh, you know, like your groove gets thrown off. And you can easily fall into a trap of, oh, well, it's game over now.
Yeah!
I've been trying not to fall into that trap of like, oh, well, game over now. Just kind of throw yourself into something new, you know? Like, I want to throw myself into you. And I know a lot of people kind of like find themselves in like real life scenarios where you truly find yourself, like, I don't know, like going to college and then that's where you find your true self and whatever. You know, not with me. I think it's kind of been a mixture of getting out of school and doing something because I wanted to do it. You know, this whole YouTube thing was something that I was pretty adamant about doing when I was on the way out of high school. Not because I had any kind of talent for it, because I was just like, ooh, I can make money doing the whole YouTube and not have to leave the house. Like, ooh. That was like the idea in my head, like, oh, let's do that, you know? Thinking that I could just do it with not any talent, without any know-how on how to do editing, voiceover. Like, like I was so bad when I first started, but I truly did find my way through figuring this shit out on my own, and I'm pretty damn proud of it, you know? Oh, Joe, hey, like I'm pretty proud of this channel. And the only reason it's still around is because of me. Well, I mean, the whole YouTube thing, the whole app itself is not around because of me, but my channel is, you know. I keep it up, you know. And whether or not it ever becomes any kind of financially stable thing for me, definitely remains to be seen. Yeah, it's not really looking too great for me. But, you know, I can still make cool shit, you know? And some people might see it. And I'll always praise myself for that. Because Valorant alone would not exist without me. Valorant alone is my baby. And it is a testament about how far I've come. You know, it's a well-written thing. It's a well-edited thing. Just not very well viewed, you know? Which, it happens, you know? Y'all could change that. Wink, wink. But even if you don't change it...
Hey, get behind!
Even if you don't change it, I still know that it's good. I still know that nothing truly compares to it as far as things that I've made before. It really does stand out in the crowd. And it's only because I got inspired by people along the way. Man, I am really derailing myself. I don't know. I don't know where I was going. Dick. I guess the whole idea of quitting something that's, you know, meant so much to me and has done me so well is just kind of definitely not in the cards for me. Because it's like one less thing I can do. You know? I don't have a whole lot of talents outside of this. At least I can always, like... I go to this a lot when I need to get my mind off stuff. Like, one of the first things I wrote after a pretty bad time in my life, gotta admit, was Valorant Alone. Like, I threw myself into Valorant Alone because I needed it. I needed it really bad. So, getting rid of something that means so much is kind of silly. And I guess if I made money off of this and it became a job, it would be different. Could be different. But as of right now, it's not. Right now, it's kind of my escape. My passion project still. It's not something that could become a burden to me yet. I guess that's I'm not religious, but it's a blessing in disguise. Because I don't know what it's like to look at this as like, oh, how can I make this monetarily viable for me? I don't look at it like that. Like, if I want to add, like, a song that's got copyrighted whatever to it, I just do it. Because I feel like it adds to a video, then that's great. And the only way it affects the video, I think, is, you know, you can't make money off of it. Oh, well. You know? Because I ain't really sweating that right now. But maybe one day I would sweat that. I guess that's just kind of how I look at this right now. It's not something that I sweat.
Damn it.
I just love it, you know? Oh, you're a clicker. I thought you were a human being. I guess you were a human being at one point in time. Now you're just a little bitch. Anyway.
He ducked over there! Where'd the outsider go? She can't have gone far.
I guess that's the trick to it. Just don't let this become something you just see as a monetary thing. Bitch.
We might have her.
That's me.
Let's check it out.
Oh,
Go.
that's me.
Back.
No. And we're trying it again. Usually I try to keep these to one attempt per video, but I haven't done one in a while, so... And the possibility of somebody actually, you know, actually watching this video is kind of low. Which kind of sucks. Y'all could change it by sharing the video around. Really appreciate it. Like the video. Anyway. And that's just the thing. I have a sense of humor about it. I know this channel's kind of not very popular. I know that. But it's still my baby. Which makes it different for me. Because I see people kind of look at their channels and their persons as like, oh, I'm a brand. Oh, I'm a brand. Like, get the fuck out of my face. I'm Austin T Gaming, but I'm also Austin. You know, this is the best version of me. If you really want to think about it, which I do. I think about it in a really good way. This is the best version of me. Sorry, not sorry. You know, people aren't talking over me. People aren't saying I'm not funny because there's no one here to say anything. But if there was somebody here, I'm sure they'd be spitting their opinions about me, which is great. If you want to spit your opinion about me in the comments, then go for it. It would only help the video out. So go for it. I don't care. I can eat shit on the internet because the internet's just the internet. You were supposed to throw yourself behind the box, Ellie. You goof. There's one thing I don't really care much for, is filling filling dead air with words that don't mean anything to you. Just because, like, oh, I gotta say something. No, you don't gotta say shit. But if you got something to say, then say it. And sometimes I'm not the best at articulating
Any sign of
what's going on in my heart. But there's a lot going on right now. Like, I'm in a really good place. You bitch. I'm in a really good place as far as, like, where my head's at. But I will admit, it's easy to slip into bad habits. Which, like last week, I was starting to slip. And I don't like that.
Oh God.
And it's always the small things that you kind of ignore. Like, oh, what if? The whole, oh, I hate what ifs. Oh God, I hate what ifs. The passion, do I hate them? Because they're practically limitless on how deep it can go, you know. Where? Oh, like, what if it never works out? Or what if it does work out? How would it change you? Would it change you? Where are you guys hiding? You fucking little bastards. I'm not even really talking about YouTube necessarily, like, in and of itself, because the what ifs can web into other things. Even like things that mean so little in the grand scheme of things.
Sir! In that building!
Uh-huh.
Keep up the pressure! I got it! Look back there! Where'd the outsider go? Track her down!
And what ifs really are kind of like to navigate, you know? Because a lot of times what ifs are shredded in regrets of things you did. Potentially. You know, I don't really feel like I have any like particular regrets, like, oh, this thing changed my life. Not really. Nothing like that. I guess more recently, kind of having the attitude of really being extra self-centered here lately, and maybe that might push some people away in the long run, and maybe I'll have regrets when I get older of doing that. Oh, no, no. But the whole idea, like, right now, it's working out pretty well for me.
I know you're out there! Got you now!
But yeah, it's right now, you know? Like, will you still feel the same way in 20 years when you're 50 years old and not have a lot of friends? Would you still feel the same way? Because I am very much I got me. Even if nobody else got me, I got me. Especially here lately. Because it wasn't always like that, you know? It was a time maybe I wasn't my best friend. Now I'm so good to myself, I couldn't see myself laying myself down like that again.
Get her off of me!
Son of a bitch! Shit!
I'm gonna...
Cocksuckers. I know not everybody feels that way about themselves, but I gotta tell you, man. If you ever find that, like, if you can ever do that with yourself, like, make yourself your best friend, your top priority, I promise you, or I shouldn't promise you, but I think very likely it would help out a lot. Because you're the guy that's gotta wake up with yourself every day. You know, like, you gotta look in the mirror and like, hey, I'm alright, you know? And if there's a time where you don't do that, it's not good. People do definitely complicate stuff a lot. And because I feel like life's not that complicated, you know? Like, there's so many, like, easier ways to deal with shit. And personally, like, what works for me, you know? May not work for everybody else, but I do feel pretty confidently that people overcomplicate stuff. Because, oh, I need answers now! And, you know, sometimes things aren't as hidden as you think they are. But people, like, jump through these hoops to get to happiness and, like, oh, I gotta do this and I'll get there. Like, well, no. Maybe. But not always, you know? But hey, I'm just speaking from the heart here. Not speaking as if I know anything in particular, but I've been through some shit. Had some issues for a while, but you can get there. You just gotta kind of... Man. I started this video, I want to talk about, like, quitting YouTube and why I'm not doing it, and here I am talking about... Oh, I burped. What am I talking about? I feel like I kind of want to change the subject now, because I don't want to get too deep about shit, because what? Who am I to tell you how to live your life, you know? I'm just rambling, I'm just talking, but anyway.
Quiet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want this to get too deep, so usually I'm more like the let's do a funny, you know? And like I'm in a pretty good mood, but sometimes you can't help but get a little bit deep. Because something is cut deep. And sometimes you gotta catch yourself when you start going down places you don't want to go. I'm not saying like avoid all negative stuff, because I feel like that's kind of a slippery. It's very hard to do. Ow.
Motherfucker! Down! What?
Jesse, Ellie, help me.
She's running!
But then again, there is something to that. Avoiding negative energy if you can. But then again, you know, that's kind of hard sometimes. And bad habits too. Just bad habits of getting yourself trapped in a negative headspace is scary. I wasn't gonna hit the subject, but well, why not? We're going deep tonight. So,
Alright.
I guess the one thing that always kind of trapped me, and one thing that I kind of found myself slipping back into, was like the whole idea of like oh, dating, and like I never actually dated. Like, I just kind of had crushes, and they never led to anything, you know. And that used to really trap me, you know, really bad. Because for a long time, like, I really wanted to know what it was like to have a partner. Like, I really wanted a companion, you know? And the whole idea that I wasn't ever gonna have that because I felt as if I was inadequate, I guess. If that's the way to put it. That was a bad place. I really slipped bad. Years ago, anyway. Like, I would always find myself in, like, really bad places because of what I've seen as, like, oh, well, I'm never enough, but this guy is. And that would lead just... It would definitely spiderweb into things that it's not good times, you know? And realizing that caught me... Like, I would always find myself, like, trapped in that web. Like, finally realizing that that's a web that you keep getting caught in. And realizing that it doesn't serve you well. Let it go. I had to find that myself. Like, dude, therapy did not work. It did not work for me. So I just kind of... Like, I remember I spent, like, a certain amount of money going to therapy for it. Because it was that bad. I could not let it go, you know. So, I went like 3 times. Spent more money than I was happy to spend to do it. I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere. I don't feel any better. And then I was like, whoa, I've already spent this much money on... I've already spent this much money on... Oh, you're right there. On trying to get better, and I'm not feeling better. So, I was like, well, I spent all this money trying to get better and it's not working. How about I stop spending money on this and put it towards something that I actually want to do. Like playing a PS5, playing games, and enjoying games again. That was kind of how I shifted my thinking of things. Like, put money towards things you want to do and enjoy the things you're doing. When did that shift happen? When was it? I want to say it was like 2021.
I got her! Over here!
Man, Ellie, you are killing me. I'm gonna die. Okay, no, I'm not gonna die.
Over here!
Oh, how? I could have easily died.
God damn it!
You're gonna get fed, my friend. You're gonna get fed, my friend.
Wait! Take her down!
Oh. God dang it. You were... Who broke you free? Who broke you free? You freaking cuck. Anyway. Oh, I don't want to cut it off there. Ugh. Actually, maybe I do. Or maybe I'm rambling a little bit too much and y'all might not like that. Not that I care what you all like. I do whatever I want. But maybe it'd be nice to have some kind of, like, I don't know. What do you want to call it? What do you want to call it? Some kind of, I don't know, a burp? Fluidity? No, not fluidity. Consistency. Yep, I was all over the place on this video, but I did 2 attempts at no return, or my Rattler run. Got reasonably close that time, I guess. Or the time before that. Anyway. If y'all want more of these, I got plenty of things to talk about, as long as I can keep myself consistent. And anyway. Maybe you got something out of this, I don't know. If you did, let me know. If not, then... bummer.